What's up, comic book world? It's Mickey here, and I am here to review from Villains Month, Lex Luthor, and this is from Action Comics series. Okay, guys, to start out with, you understand that, basically all the superheroes have been gotten rid of, and the villains are here to rule, and they are running amok. So, of course, Villains Month is for all the villains to have fun. And here we're going to a deeper story of Lex Luthor. And we're going to find out more about him, but not exactly. We don't know his background story in this issue, but we get to find out more and more his connection and his relationship with Superman. Lex Luthor is basically, excuse me to say, but he's sucking the farts out of Superman's butt. Seriously, he would. It's ridiculous. Oh my goodness. He's acting like a groupie right now. You see how much Lex Luthor is he's like, if Superman has fans, Superman has groupies, Lex Luthor is the king of the groupies right here in this comic book. It's awesome and it's hilarious. At the beginning of Villains Month, when basically all the villains take over, and you see Lex Luthor kneeling down, and he's like, "This is a job for Superman. Where is Superman?" It's the beginning of how much you see Lex Luthor's twisted love. I would call it love. Twisted love for Superman. An obsession too. So basically Lex Luthor is allowed to run free and run amok. I'm sorry I'm going too long right now, but the artwork is gorgeous in here. You see him running amok. Well, he's not running amok. He's just shooting a dummy of Superman. Just venting, getting it all out there. He kills people just to get Superman. He wants to make sure that Superman is around, so he would kill anyone and put everyone in danger so that Superman can come around. And it's pretty freaking awesome. You can see right here the explosions. Kaboom! Just so Superman can come around. It's a great book. The art is pretty good. I like it. Rating 3 out of 5.
Alright, you guys. Next up is The Dark Knight 23.3, Clayface #1. This was a good issue. What happens is that you really see how much of a butthole Clayface is, because he really just cares about himself and not really anybody else, which is really the case with any villain. But it starts out with him kind of a part of a group of these other guys who want to rob a bank, and they're kind of going in the sewage under the street to where the bank is. But in the meantime, Clayface is like wanting to divert from the mission or for the plan, because he's like, there's another jewelry store that he's had his eye on that he really wants to get. Well, him and Clayface and the guy who is, he says he's the brains of the operation, who kind of thought up of the plan, they start arguing, and you find out that Clayface has, low self-esteem issue. He doesn't like being called an idiot. He's a very short fuse, very hot-tempered, and he doesn't really, there's not really any wisdom with him. He doesn't really think about the consequences of his actions. So they start fighting, and then all of a sudden, nice splash page, he just goes and kills all of his partners. So, yeah. And so now he's kind of out of luck. But it was kind of funny because he takes on the form of one of the guys who he killed, and he goes street side right here. And everybody's like looting and vandalizing. He's like, what's going on? And they're like, yo, dude, haven't you heard? The Justice League is gone. So everybody does whatever they want. But he also finds out that the crime syndicate, not the crime syndicate, the secret society are kind of like recruiting people. And Clayface, thinking about himself, is like, oh, I need to get their attention. I need to try to be a part of this team. because I want to be on top. Kind of reminded me a little bit of Starscream, how he always wants this position of leadership that he doesn't deserve. Kind of think in those terms when you look at Clayface. And so what happens is that there is a interrupted broadcast of a rebel resistance right here, because all the television screens, all the computers, all cell phones, they just say the world is ours. That's all they say, and then this was interrupted. Well, come to find out, Clayface takes some initiative and goes after the rebels and starts to disrupt whatever it is that they're trying to do, their resistance. I won't say what happens at the ending, because if I go any further, I just end up spoiling it. The artwork was okay. It was it was average. Nothing really spectacular about it. I've always liked Clayface. You kind of find out about his history. You find out about his history, and when he was a movie star, a celebrity, he had a short temper then. So you get a little bit of, or not origin, but a little bit of history story behind this. Overall, I would have to say, again, the artwork is average. I would have to say that the story was average. Nothing really spectacular about it. I still enjoyed it at the same time. This isn't something that I would say you have to have, although it's a 3D cover, so if you can get your hands on all of them, you kind of got to have it. So 3 out of 5, that's what I like. You guys tell me what you think.
Hey, what's up, comic book world? It's your girl right here, Mickey. And I am going to review for Villains Month, Batman and Robin, Ra's al Ghul. I kind of like this. It gave me a more of a background story for Ra's al Ghul and his connection with Batman. I did not like the art. I wasn't the biggest fan of the art. However, there were some key points that I did really love, especially where basically the choreography of the battle with the representatives from the super villain society. That was one of the best that I saw, and I really liked, because they intertwined the conversation along with the art, and it gave you a visual of how the fight is going on in the conversation. They intertwined the story of Ra's al Ghul and his connection with Batman while they fought, and I really like that back and forth. I really loved that, and I was a big fan of that. Basically, it just introduces you to the character of Ra's al Ghul, but not entirely. It doesn't give you his beginnings. It gives you an introduction of who Ra's al Ghul is, but it doesn't take you way back to his beginnings like Harley Quinn on the last Villains Month. This one, it's basically his connection. It just establishes his connection. This is who Ra's al Ghul is to Batman. Basically, his father-in-law, his estranged father-in-law. Damien's grandpa. It's pretty generic. I feel like there isn't really much to it. It's a really fast read. It's an entertaining read anyway. So please, I'm not saying that do not go out and get this book. I'm not gonna tell you everything that's in it, because I hate it when people do that. I hate it when they even tell bits and pieces of the story. I don't want to know. So I'm not gonna give you everything. You just gotta have to go off of my word and take that cash out, pay for this book, and read it. If you don't think it's really worth it, and if you're a fast reader, comic book owners or comic book store owners are gonna hate me for this, but read it at the shelf. I'm just saying, just read it. Just pick it up from the shelf and you will flash through it in 5 minutes, I promise you. Oh my God. Someone's cursing me out right now. I'm sorry, forgive me. But anyway, it's your girl right here. It's your girl right here. It's Mickey.